Have you ever wondered what it feels like to work a 4-day work week? A lot of people think about this and they have a certain picture of what it's like. And I'm going to try to help you feel what it feels like and get a sense of how you can create that and see if it's something you want to create. So, ask you a different question. Have you ever had a 4-day work week? Maybe there's a Mondays off because of a holiday, but even more importantly, because that's even a slightly different dynamic than most people experience, have you ever had a Friday off? And you know the Friday is going to be off, and maybe it was only for 1 week, but you knew during those 4 days that you had to get more done than you normally get done. So you basically, based on your normal schedule, had to get 5 days worth of work done in 4 days. That's, at least initially, what a 4-day work week feels like when you first start doing it. So the reason why I've gone back and forth when I started my endeavor, and people would say, well, Wade, why don't you focus on the 3-day weekend? Because that's sort of the candy. That's what everybody wants. That's what people, when they say they want a 4-day work week, what they're really saying is they want a 3-day weekend. Well, my experience is, number one, that people have a different idea of what a 3-day weekend means. And usually 3-day weekends are things that people are used to having given to them. So they say, oh, we had a holiday off, so somebody granted me a 3-day weekend, as opposed to having earned on a regular basis a 4-day work week or 4-day work week lifestyle. So when you first start out, it's actually, the 3 days are awesome, especially the first maybe 2 to 3 to 5 months you do it, because you're like, wow, look, here's this extra time. So the 3 days are the awesome part. The 4 days get a little more difficult because now there's this pressure to perform and a pressure to figure out, how do I make things happen quicker? And when you start creating a plan, as you can at 4daygameplan.com, that we have there, the tool and the short video on how you do that. When you create a game plan, one of the first things you do is look at, well, what are the things I'm doing that really aren't getting me certain results? And this is a lot like if you went on a quest to lose weight. So you might say, Wade, and I've had this happen before. When we had kids, I was at least 25 pounds overweight. Well, the first 5 to 10 pounds were not that difficult to lose, in that the strategy was pretty straightforward. Wade, stop overeating garbage. I didn't literally eat garbage, but I ate a lot of foods that I knew weren't good for me. And I allowed myself to slide with my habits. So the first 5 to 10 pounds were actually not that difficult. And if you're looking to go, to be precise, let's talk numbers, from let's say 40 hours a week to 32, the first 2 to 4 hours of waste is pretty easy to find. You get a little more focused, just even put a little more energy, a little more hustle behind something, and you can get stuff done quicker. Certainly in most employee situations, if the employer said, look, you need to get 40 things done this week, and whenever you get those 40 things done to a certain standard, not just randomly done checking the box, but when you've done it to a certain standard, you can leave. I think we all know that some people would be done in 4 days, some might be done in 3 days. And then, of course, some people might take the whole 5 days if they had nothing better to do with their time outside. And that's not said as an insult. That's said really as more of an observation of a lack of creativity. And so we'd say, okay, in those 4 days, though, there needs to be something new, some sort of focus. And so that's kind of what it's like to work a 4-day work week, to realize that we have to do something different, something better, something with more focus, create more value. Now, the 3 days are awesome if we make the most of them. And so what you start finding is there's also, in a good way, this not pressure, but this sense of, wow, I have 3-day weekends now. I can kind of get creative here. This is not just about me being exhausted Friday, sleeping in Saturday, waking up Saturday, partying Saturday, and waking up Sunday, just catching my breath to start again Monday. I actually have some time here that I can do some things. And so now I want to get more creative. I want to do different things. In my case, it's not so much about new creativity. I love playing beach volleyball on Fridays. But then that's evolved into beach volleyball, and then more get-togethers with friends and more family time, and really enjoying the 3 days as if it were a vacation, as if I had gone somewhere. So I encourage you to look at this as a journey and to not romanticize or make it think that there's some magic to working 4 days, like all of a sudden everything becomes awesome or it becomes less stressful. How you handle stress in 5 days is going to be pretty similar to how you handle stress in 4 days. And in fact, in 4 days, there might be a little more stress to perform to get certain results. But if you study how to get results and you take this as a gradual approach, you can start learning how to get more results in less time, which I think most people would agree. If you get more results, it's reasonable to think you could get either paid more or the same amount of money. And there's countless studies coming out, more of them, showing what I've seen in so many situations with my clients and with their team members is if you tell somebody that they can get out of work after 4 days, but they still need to get the same results as they've done in 5, most people can do that because there's already some time where they're not fully focused because they're kind of pacing themselves. And we know that happens because then sometimes there's a really stressful situation and people step up to the plate. Well, if they step up to the plate when it's really stressful, what were they doing before? Well, they were pacing themselves, and that's okay. But so in all of this, I encourage you to really consider what it is that you'd want to create in those 3 days. Because if you can get clear about what you do in those 3 days, it's going to become easier for you to want to create that 4-day work week lifestyle. And again, in those 4 days, you will be doing some hustling. You will be doing some focusing. You will be doing some rethinking of things, and you'll probably make some mistakes. But the payoff of the 3 days and the lifestyle that goes with it, and the ability to have so much more free time. And think about it this way: if we measure our life and our most meaningful times, usually are things that happen outside of work. And if that's the case, so if most of us, or I shouldn't say most of us, a lot of us, some don't even have this many, but if you have 2 weekend days, 2 vacation days per week, and that's what you're used to, the time you have available to create memories and meaningful experiences in life, and if all of a sudden now you have 3, it's like you've got another 50% of life. That's what it's like. So it's not about living longer. It's about creating more free time in the lifespan that you have to enjoy it more. I hope you find this helpful. If you need to start creating your 4-day workweek game plan or need help with that, again, go to 4daygameplan.com. If you have questions on this, as always, please email me at wade@4dayworkweek.com. And I look forward to, as I always do, helping you make more money in less time, doing what you do best, so you can create the lifestyle you most desire to enjoy you, your friends, your family, and your life. Thank you.